Hey guys, it's RobJ here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at AntKit's newly launched Starter Kit 1. What it includes, how you use it, how it's intended to be used, its options, its configurations, and what's included, and optional extras. So stay tuned, this video is a long one, and if you want to see the optional extras, they're towards the end of the video. Other than that, we'll be covering what's included as standard now. So, first of all, you get a small length of 9mm tubing, a test tube to 9mm adapter, a plastic test tube, a rubber bung for blocking up holes, and a nest to tube adapter and a mini pipette, as well as a size 1 acrylic horizontal nest, a matching red acrylic overlay, a sample of the ant jellies that you can buy, and also a storage tub to keep it in, as well as some cotton wool to get you started with your test tube setups. You also get what's known as an accessory card, which is essentially a load of different shapes cut out, and they can be used for many different things. If you take a look at this is some of their intended purposes, and you can do all sorts of different things with these inside your Outworld arena. So that's the accessory card, and that's essentially everything you get in the Starter Kit 1. So let's start taking a closer look. So let's look at the main edition, the new acrylic Outworlds, or arenas as they're known. So this has a lid, like a laser cut air ventilation on the top. It's removable, it has a lip for your PTFE application, and can be totally took apart for cleaning and setting up. So let's take a quicker look. So we have matching sawtooth access points at either side, which can take a number of their accessories. The nest to nest, the outworld to tube, like I'm going to add to this now. And this is where the rubber bung comes in handy. The intended purpose of this is when, say, one of the expansion ports is unused, you just push the rubber bung into the ant's access hole, which goes into the base, and it'll stop them getting access to that particular port. This is the air ventilation lid. It's really nice actually. Nice laser cut air holes, so the precision is bang on machine quality. You've got, as I mentioned before, the lip for the PTFE. Best to remove the Outworld top half and put it upside down to do the PTFE. And then this actually comes off as well. And that's one solid piece there. So we basically dismantled it from the lid to the arena to the base. Now the base is where that accessory card comes back into play. So the idea is you will peel out various pieces out of the accessory card and slot them into the slots built into the acrylic base to make a number of unique sort of layouts. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the test tube holders and I'm installing the test tube towards the back wall of my Outworld. Now that they're in place, let's just push a test tube in. So they just sit in there. They can sort of roll around, but essentially the ants can't move it. But say if you pick up the base, just make sure that you remember that your test tube's only placed down. Okay, let's grab another accessory. Let's use the background or business card clip. This is This is actually on the outer side of the arena, so you can attach essentially like fish tank style backgrounds of, say, some scenery or some jungle, or even things like theme it towards the room that it's going in, the species of ants it's in, maybe an information sheet on what they are and the temperatures they like. The possibilities are endless when it comes to the concern. So I've also added in what AntKit referred to as the raised feeding platform, which seems to be easy to access, seeming you're coming through a quite small cut-out hole in the top of the lid. Getting into the base every single time might be awkward. I'm also going to fill out the unused gaps with the hole blockers. So let's just do that now. I'm just fighting, trying to get them out there. They're a little bit awkward, they're tiny. Okay, so now, as you can see, I've put one of the hole blockers in there. And that's it really. That's the setup if you're using the accessory card. So, what I'm going to do is pop it back together. Now, as you can see, it's a simple click and lock sort of system. And the lid is very much the same, held on by a good cut, tight fit. As you can see, that's the idea of the raised feeding platform. And this is the lid back on. So, now we've took a look at the main base unit, let's take a look at where the ants are meant to live. So, included in the starter kit is a size 1 acrylic horizontal nest. And this will just use the nest to nest adaptation with the sawtooth ports, and it'll just push on like so. And you can change that to a larger nest at any time you like. And it also comes with a matching red acrylic overlay, which is for your viewing but not to disturb the ants with too much light. Also, the other side, say your colony is based inside a test tube, you could take the test tube to 9mm tubing adapter, push that on, attach a bit of tubing to the adapter and push that onto the other side of your nest, meaning that you can move ants in from them, because when you buy ants they always come in test tubes. No matter what you buy, it's pretty much always in test tubes. So them including this means you can get your ants through the post, you just push that on, attach the tube, and then they're attached to their outworld, which then leads onto their nest. And after a while they will move in, especially if you let the test tube dry out but hydrate the new nest more. They will eventually move in. Or say you've got them in a nest now, then you can just do tube to nest to move them in. So that's that. I'm going to push my rubber bung in. So say once they've moved in and you no longer need the test tube attached, you can pop in the rubber bung to block off their access to that sawtooth port. As we talked about earlier on, the background or business card clip holder. This is it close up, and this is the nest turned around. Now what you do is you just push the background between the green acrylic and the clear acrylic. This is an example from a member over on the forum of what sort of thing you can sort of do, and obviously we're not all going to go for frozen, but you can get the idea of that's the sort of effect that you can get. Talking of effects to get, as a sold separate extra, you can buy inserts. Now this is the insert example that was sent to me, but when these are for sale, which won't be too long now, you'll be able to pick from a various set of designs, and they all come ready to just literally clip in. They all come moulded onto an acrylic base with teeth, as you can see here, and they match up with your accessory hole clips. And all you do is you clip them in, and they quite literally locks into place, so it's in the right position for the tank, or the top part of the nest, this part now, to come over the top and lock into place without leaving a large gap down the sides. So there we go, just lock that back in, so that's all clipped back together now. It looks very professional, and I know this is aimed at specifically at beginners, but I really like the launch forward in the modular add-ons. You can buy the base unit separately without the nest and add to it. You can also swap that nest with any of their other nests and add to it. I really like this professional sort of neat modular, like strong nest to nest design. And once the insert is in, obviously you don't have access to your accessory cards anymore because you've put in an insert decoration accessory. So what you can do for water is get yourself a small piece of 9mm tube, attach it to the adapter, and then fill that with water with a cotton wool in the end, and then you can have a huge test tube or a small test tube worth of water attached to the ants. I mean, for a beginner or even a seasoned keeper, this is excellent. Now obviously this is only going to be suitable for a lot of species, but the very, very small species, you would have to test it out first. This is a very new product, and obviously it's been tested with a majority of ants, even some rare stuff, but not every single species has been tested. As I mentioned before, you can just swap it out for a different nest. So here's a size 3 acrylic nest, and as you saw, I just pulled off the other nest and popped it on. Now I've sized up. This is what I liked so much about it. This sort of modular lock design. Really like that. Personally, I quite like this design myself. And because I want to know everything about this, I'm actually going to be doing a second video of what moving ants in, and then after a few months of having them in there, I will do another review video, and we'll talk about what it's like to use, if there's any problem areas, anything like that, once I've had practical experience with it. So we're going to start wrapping the video up there. That's been my quick look at the new AntKit Starter Kit 1. And if you wish to purchase it, you just head over to AntKit's website and it'll be listed under the Starter Kit section. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching my video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like button if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.